Are you a cash-based physical therapist looking for the perfect number of exercises for your home program or the sexiest home exercise program so that way you can get your better outcomes? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not the case, and you don't need to be as complex as you're making it right now. My name is Garcia. I help cash-based physical therapists just like yourself improve clinical outcomes and succeed in business. When we look at home exercise programs, one of the guilty things that we have as physical therapists, and especially as cash-based physical therapists, is we love exercises. We want to change the world with exercise. We know that we want to change movement and how people move and decrease stress and improve biomechanics because we think that's magically going to fix everything. Well, I'm here to tell you that home exercise programs are important. You might call it a strength program, a strength conditioning program, a home exercise program, a TheraX program, whatever you call it. The goal of a home exercise program is to sustain change. What you do inside the clinic is there to help create that change, help someone see life and movement just a little differently. So as you're explaining these things to the patient, that patient is processing everything that you just did to them. They have sensory overload. You might have done manual therapy, you did some TheraX, you did some movement re-education, you probably loaded them with a barbell or weights or whatever it is. You probably put them through a workout and they feel amazing. And now their senses are overloaded at the moment. Visually, it was a lot to enter your clinic. Auditory-wise, they just took in, processed all this information. Sensory-wise, they just took in everything. And they're feeling great. Now you're going to close out the session and you're telling them what they need to do for the next session. Or maybe it's an initial evaluation. And you're trying to tell them what to do for the next one. But you're also trying to tell them how many sessions they need or what's the next frequency. So they're trying to process a lot. And what you don't understand is you as a consumer would be overloaded as well. And so in order to maximize compliance, in order to maximize outcomes, and in order to maximize retention, simplicity always is the best. And so when a cash pay patient comes in and they just had 30, 45, an hour of a workout plus education and motivation and all this other stuff that you provided for them, when you're designing your home program, you fail to realize that this is all going inside their head, and you're now going to provide them with 57 exercises on a template in an app so they can do on their own, and you want them to do it 3 times a day, and they have to find somehow a half hour inside their busiest schedule, which you wouldn't be able to do either, and you're assuming that they're that motivated to be able to do it, and you're coming off of a high because your session was fantastic, and a lot of times this is eating your compliance alive. Patients don't come back when things are complex and they don't make sense. And so while you made them feel good, life just hits them right after the session. They go home, they have dinner, they have a conversation with their spouse, their kids, they go about life next day, they get stressed at work, all these other things. And what you don't realize is all those stressors take away from your compliance. And in order to request 30 minutes, an hour of a home exercise program, they have to be committed, and they don't have to have any stressors. Now, that's not always the case. So that is what's going against you. And if you want to maximize your outcomes, especially in a cash pay setting, because these customers, these patients are highly motivated, but they're paying for every single session. And what they're doing inside their head is questioning, do I really need this? Every single session they're coming with you. So if you can make it streamlined, fluid, a low resistance, a low barrier to continue to come see you, that's when people make the decision of, yeah, it's totally worth it, because they make it so simple, so fun, so entertaining, it's a great experience, and I want to keep coming back. And that home exercise program could be one thing that you're deterring them with, because they're non-compliant. They have to look you in the eye every single time and say, I didn't do my homework. And it's not that they weren't motivated or compliant, it's because you made it too complex. You, the provider, you, the cash PT, you, the person overseeing their care, did them dirty. You did them wrong, and you shouldn't have. So the best thing to do here is to make that home exercise program super straightforward, and all you're going to do is have 1 or 2 exercises on there. That's hard for a lot of PTs to do it here. 1 to 2 exercises. If you do more, they're not going to be compliant. Now, if they're post-operative, completely get that. But a non-operative case, they don't need more than that. And if you're going to write an entire strength program for them, an entire strength conditioning, it means that you're running everything that they're not doing. They're not with a personal trainer. They don't have any other fitness professional, and they have an hour of their day to just dedicate to what you're doing. Now, there are some exceptions, but if you really want to make an impact for the majority of your cash pay patients, because insurance-based, they're not going to be compliant anyways, they're not motivated. So let's just talk about cash. So a cash pay patient, 100% is going to do this. And if you want to be successful, and if you're working in an out-of-network clinic, you're a hybrid, or you just work cash, ultimately you're trying to work with more of these people, more of these cash pay patients. And the way to do that and keep them on your schedule and coming back is to make it the experience so seamless that they make it easy for them to come back. And One of the things that's deterring that is your home exercise program. So 1 to 2 exercises, that's it. Make it simple. So when they come back, they're like, oh, that was easy. Can I get more? Now they're requesting more. But at the rate that they're going off of, especially early in a plan of care, they're so overwhelmed. They're just trying to figure it all out. Now, if they're asking for more, that's fantastic. But if you're not designing a full strength and conditioning program, 3 to 5 is at the top end of where you need to be. If you're just starting a plan of care, 1 to 2, make it simple. And they're like, gosh, that feels amazing. But they're not asking for more, don't give them more. 1 to 2, adjust it. So if you add 1, take 1. If you subtract 1, add 1. But you're not adding more than that. Why? Because it's just enough, and they're communicating that. They're telling you it's enough, and their outcomes are telling you enough. Now, this might be foreign from an insurance-based provider coming into cash because you're used to giving them everything, the whole house, the whole framework of home exercises. You want to change everything about them, their posture, their sitting mechanics. It's just so overwhelming. And that might work in insurance, but it won't work in cash because they're literally paying for it. The only reason it works in insurance is because somebody else is paying for it and it's a lower price point. So because you are Walmart, because you are cheaper, it makes it a low barrier of entry, not the actual experience. So if you really want to retain and continue helping people be their best version of themselves, improve their health, get their outcomes to where they need to be, make it simple so that they can succeed. And once they succeed and ask for more, give them more. But to start 1 to 2 exercises, and that is what's going to help you inside your cash pay practice so that you can have more of these people refer to you, have better outcomes, just be an ambassador for your organization and what you do. And that's how you're going to improve your clinical outcomes without even adding more exercises. In fact, you're lowering them. Enjoy. Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on treating cash pay patients, becoming that expert in your community, and thriving in business. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.